Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Just Miss J. And whether you're a fellow teacher, parent, or just curious about the world of education, I'm going to give you a little peek into who I am as an educator and why I do what I do. So let's get into it. So I taught recently third grade, and I taught all subjects. So math, reading, math, ELA, which is English Language Arts, science, social studies. I became a teacher because when I was doing my major, I was a psychology major, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with that. So I switched majors, and that's how I became a teacher. Also, with teaching, I was like, oh, now I know what demographic I want to work with for being a psychologist. So I went to school, got my master's, became a school counselor, and then during COVID, I was like, I kind of want to go back and teach just to prove to myself that I can do it. And that's really how I ended up becoming a teacher on record. What's my favorite lesson or unit to teach? I like teaching science. I like to have fun with it. And my favorite unit is the habitats. I like teaching the habitats, the Georgia regions. And that's my favorite. I just love it. If I could switch grades or subjects for a week, what would I teach? If I could switch grades, I would do, and I'm guessing this is switch grades in elementary school. If I could switch grades in elementary school, I would do kindergarten or first grade, because I've taught first grade before, but I've done my practicum classes or whatever in kindergarten, and I kind of liked it because it was fun. It's fast paced, kids like whatever you're doing. But for real, if I could switch grades, I would teach middle school science, only because I'm like, you can't mess up science. It would either be science or social studies, and it would be middle school, eighth grade only. I build relationships with my students by first letting them know that we are a family, we are a community, we are together a good portion of your day. And if you respect me, I respect you. And if you respect me, you also have to respect your classmates. And I do that. But then I also, with each individual student, because that's as a class, as a group, but with each individual student, I like to find out things that they like, their interests, and build relationships off of that. Because most of the time, if you can find something they like, you can pull that into your lessons. My go-to classroom management trick is pulling out an index card and saying, who's going to have silent lunch? Students don't like that. Or who's going to have laps at recess? They don't like that. So that is my classroom management trick. It gets them quiet. When students walk into my room, first thing in the morning when they would walk in, I had started playing, last year, I started playing calming music as they walked in while they did the morning work that they were going to do, or whatever they were doing to start class. And we would do progress learning, reading, and math. They had to do a reading and then do a math. So, but it would be music playing in the room when they would walk in. It was calm. They had a routine. Their routine was they come in, they unpack, turn in the red folder, go to the bathroom if they need to, sit down, start the day. Then each table had a day that they would go to the library, and if it was your table color day, you went to the library. Fridays was makeup for the students who weren't there. teacher pet peeve that I have is when other teachers try to tell you about a student that's coming to your class from how they were the previous year. I can't stand it. I'm not even gonna lie. I hate when teachers do that because I'm not that teacher that's gonna tell you, oh, watch out for this student. They do the XYZ. I didn't do that after my first batch of kids, and I didn't do it after my second. So I can't. That's one thing I don't like. I can't stand it. My classroom, I do not decorate for holidays or seasons. I'm not that seasonal teacher. I don't even like to decorate. So you're not going to come in my room and see, oh, it's Thanksgiving. Oh, you're not going to see that. Whatever I put up for my decorations at the beginning of the year for pre-planning, that's it for the whole year. On my classroom playlist is Disney piano tunes. That's it. Next, how I handle my burnout and tough days, I go home and decompress and snack. And I find my go-to snack, so it might be hot fries. My candy of choice is Snickers, the miniature ones, and that's how I decompress. And I sit on the couch, I watch YouTube, and eat my snacks. And that's also what I do when everything seems to go wrong. If I'm at work and I feel like everything is going wrong, when my students are at lunch, I will sit in my classroom with the lights off, door closed, and eat my lunch and cry. And I get myself together to go pick them up from lunch, and we just continue on with the day. And then when I go home, what I said I do with the previous question is what I do. My why for staying in education is the kids, because they keep me going. Even if I have something going on at home, personal, when I go to work, I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about my students. I might have a little bit of time where I get to think about it, but it's short-lived because I'm at work and I really got to put my focus, my all into teaching my kids. I've had math lessons totally flop. Can't even tell you what happened. It's just the kids are looking at me like, what is she talking about? And I'm looking at them like, y'all not getting it. Let's move on. So definitely any math lesson. I hate teaching math, so those always flop for me. A common misconception about teachers is that we are teachers 24/7. We are not. We have lives outside of work. And I wish people would let us have those lives outside of work, because it's just crazy to me how everyone just feels like we're supposed to be at your every demand 24/7. I have a life after my contract hours. After my contract hours, that Remind app, I had notifications off. I didn't get any notifications after 3 o'clock. So if you sent me anything after 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday, I didn't see it. Even on the weekends, I had it set so that I didn't get notifications on the weekend. If I didn't see it at work from 7 to 3, I'm not going to see it. And even at work, if I don't pull it up on the desktop and check it, I'm not going to see it because I don't have the notifications on the desktop either. So the parents who like to send messages after hours, I'll get to you when I get to work. But I really wish, that's something that really gets me, and I won't get on that soapbox. If my students describe me in one word, they would say, she's tough, but she cares. So I would say tough would be the word, because I like structure, and we're going to work before we play. Something my students don't know about me is that Miss Johnson has a funny side, a silly side, a goofy side. Like, I'm childish, and sometimes they get to see that, and sometimes they don't. It depends on the day. Coffee, tea, or energy drinks. This is for my teacher favorites and self-care. I like cappuccino. And I drink Dr. Pepper, cherry Coke. Those are my go-tos. After a long day of unwinding, I kind of touched on that with how I handle my burnout and tough days. I decompress. I'll sit in the car when I get home for a few minutes, and then I get out the car, go inside, I put all my belongings up, I change out my teacher clothes, and then I grab a snack, something to drink, sit down on the couch, and watch a little YouTube or just scroll on the phone, and then go and cook or go and get something to eat. Honestly, I don't have a best part about being a teacher. Maybe connecting with the kids. My signature teacher look is some slacks, a nice blouse, and a cardigan or a denim jacket. That's my go-to look. And my hair is usually down or in a low ponytail, or it's pulled back, it's off my face. I'm definitely a planner and sticky note person. I like to keep sticky notes on everything. So when I organize my work, the assignments for the week, it's a sticky note on there so you know this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. And then if students are absent, I'll make a packet and it's sticky notes on there saying this is so-and-so. Like, for example, this is Jack, Barbara, Jill, Connor. My must-have desk or bag item. My must-have desk item is ink pens, highlighters, Sharpies. In my bag, water, snacks, ink pens. I like to have separate pens for my desk, separate pens for my book bag, so that if I'm going to a meeting or I'm away from the building, I got what I need. A teacher tool or tech I swear by, I really don't have one. A teacher tool or tech that I swear by. I really don't. What do you do after school to recharge? Like I keep saying, I decompress and I take a nap. But now that I'm a mom, naps are few in between. A non-teaching hobby or passion that I like puzzles, crossword, word search puzzles, and actual puzzles you put together. My favorite weekend or weekend self-care activity that resets my energy. Catching up on my TV shows. Eating some popcorn. Going to the store to look. When we had at home store in my hometown, you would probably catch me there. But when I was living in the other cities and stuff that I lived in, that you could catch me at home store at least once every couple of weeks, just looking, just browsing around. And Barnes and Noble is quiet, and I like to just go and look at the books they have. I don't even have to buy anything. I just like to go and look. But definitely when I do self-care before a baby, it would be sitting on the couch, catching me a movie or two, most likely an African movie or a movie that somebody on social media said, hey, this is a good movie, or binge watching some TV shows on Netflix. A book, show, or podcast I always recommend. I don't have a book or podcast I always recommend, but shows. I don't have one I always recommend, so I can't really answer that. If I had a teacher tagline or catchphrase, it would be where structure meets compassion, learning thrives. Because like I said, I'm a very structured teacher, but I also care about my students, and I'm also let them know, hey, I'm here for you, because I like to bring my counseling into my teaching. So in my classroom, you're going to get a nurturing, caring, compassionate environment, but you're also going to get structure, but we're going to have some fun and learn. So that is it for my Get to Know Me Teacher Edition. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time a video drops. Share this video with any and everyone. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my sister YouTube page. The YouTube page with my sister is called The Adventures of KimLissa. It's our sister channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my sister's YouTube channel, Naturally Kimmy. Also, follow our YouTube channel, Instagram. It's same name, The Adventures of KimLissa. And her Instagram, Naturally Kimmy. Also, her TikTok, Naturally Kimmy. And yeah, until next time, guys. Bye.